the head of the bolt is backed out. And you can see, super loose. All right, well, if I'm gonna work on the front of this thing, I gotta make a little room. What's up, everybody? We are back in the shop today, and we are going to be doing some work on the Maverick R today. This is something that I would say is a must-have. And what does that mean? Well, anything that you're going to do to make your car more dependable, more reliable, stronger, I would say is probably a must-have. At least you should strongly consider doing it. So what am I talking about today? Well, there's some things that like on the X3, you've got to do the gusset kits and all that kind of stuff. The Maverick Rs, yeah, they do have some gusset kits, but it's not a must have right from the get-go like it is on the X3. But there is something that's going on, and I'm seeing some people complain about it on the Facebook groups and so on. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the lower A-arm bolts. So if you guys were with me a year or so ago, about a year and a half ago, I put these, a year ago, I put these lower HCR lower A-arms on. And I did it all right, I did it correctly and all that sort of thing. But there's something that is plaguing a lot of people out there with the Mav Rs, and if you haven't come across it yet, you need to check. And I'm talking about the lower rear A-arm bolts backing up. So you can see that A-arm bolt there. And I don't know if it's because the lower rear, you're supposed to torque it to like 137 foot-pounds versus the front, you're supposed to torque to like 177 foot-pounds. But let me show you what I found. And then I'm going to show you the product. To be honest, I found out about the product before I realized I had a problem, and I do have a problem. So look at this A-arm bolt. And you can see it looks fine. I mean, the paint's knocked off of it because I had it in and out. And by the way, this is supposed to be one-time use. And yes, I did reuse my old A-arm bolt. But part of the reason why they're one-time use is because they stretch, and then they get loose, and then they back out. Now that one, it looks fine. It looks decent. I haven't put a torque wrench on it, but it looks fine. We need to go look at the other side. And I'm seeing this for the first time myself also. I was already going to put this device on there, but I think you guys really need to see this. Here's the passenger side. And if you look closely, there's a gap. I'm sorry, it's hard to see with the light. But if you look closely, there's a gap underneath the head of the bolt. That's no bueno. That tells me the bolt's loose. What happens when the bolt gets loose? Well, the bolt can back out. It could fall out, and then your A-arm could fall down, which potentially could break your A-arm, which could cause a wreck. Or the bolt to back out enough to where it's getting jammed in there, and then the bolt itself breaks. And if I haven't already, there's some pictures right here of what I found online of people that happening to. So what are we going to do? We're going to do some preventative medicine for this. So I am talking about the Shift Performance Labs Maverick R rear lower A-arm bolt retainer kit. They tried to come up with a longer name, but I guess they really couldn't think of it. So here it is here. Here's the part number for it, and it's sold by UTV Race Shop. Shift Performance Labs, I believe, is basically a brand by UTV Race Shop. So we're going to open it up here together, show you what it's all about. What do we have? We have this stainless steel bracketry. That's why it's bare metal, because it doesn't have to be painted. It's stainless steel. What we're going to do is we're going to pull out the lower A-arm bolts, slide this up in position, slide them in there, and then we're going to have these retainers that we can put, probably goes this way, that we can put over the bolt heads and lock them in place. And with it locked in place, the bolt can't back out because we're going to put that in there over the bolt. Okay, so we're going to go through this together. I'm going to get the front wheels pulled off. Technically, if you had the space, you wouldn't have to pull off the front wheels because the front wheel is not in the way of that bolt. I just want to be able to get in there and not be fighting this tire. So we're going to pull off the front wheels. I'm going to pull off the front wheels and get some better access to this. And we're going to do the install together. Okay, now that I've got the wheel off, I can get my big mug in here a little better. I got me a 21 socket on a breaker bar. I wanted the breaker bar because I don't want any ratcheting action. I'm going to show you that this side that looks tight is not tight. I don't think that's 137 foot-pounds. So even though it's bottomed out, it's not tight. Now let's go to the other side. This side we can visibly see that the head of the bolt is backed out. And you can see super loose. So yeah, I need this kit. I didn't know I needed it, but now I can see I do. And you guys need to check your lower A-arm bolt suit. This isn't just for people with aftermarket lower A-arms. This is for everything. So the bone stalkers too. So you need to check those bolts. Better yet, you should probably get this kit to make sure the bolts don't back out. So let's get to the install. Now, what you want to do is you want to kind of map yourself out how you're going to go about getting this bracket in there and so on. So what I did is I took off my front skid plate, and it's debatable whether I needed to or not, but it's okay to take off the skid plate and have some more room. And I'm looking here, this thing has to go in here like this. So I'm finding that if I put it in this orientation, slide it across the spine, I'll be able to go and put it in there without any interference whatsoever. So all I gotta do is pull these bolts out and then put that in there. The only thing that we gotta do is we gotta make sure that we support this so that it doesn't fall out. Okay, I imagine when I pull that out, there's gonna be tension on the A-arm to wanna go in or out. So what I've done is I got a floor jack under each knuckle, one on each side. And what I'm hoping is that holds some tension to where the A-arm doesn't want to pull out or push in. And I've also got the floor jacks running perpendicular to the car because as the suspension cycles up and down, this actually goes in and out. So that way the floor jack can move back and forth easily. Okay, let's see if this is going to have any tension on it. Feels pretty loose. Good. I'm going to try the other side. The other side does have a little bit of tension on it. So I'm going to play with the tension on the floor jack. See if that helps me out. Go up or down. Don't know what it's going to be yet. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna get this in here, get it ready, because I don't know if this thing's gonna want to fall out or what. There's one side. There's the other side. And now I put them back in. And of course things move a little bit. Now, I want to show you something. I have noticed, and you can't see it now because I want to be quick, but when I slid this out, let me see if I can pull it out here. When I pull this out, the hole in the frame is egg shape. And it's egg shaped because it's had some wear. The hole in the bracket is exact. So it's going to strengthen the frame also by doing that. Okay, just a little finessing, and I got this one in there. Just had to play with the pressure up, down, in and out, and got it to go in there pretty good. So now I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten these down, and then we'll torque them. Okay, now this is all torqued down. We have our little retainer here, and we're going to line it up to the bolt. And what that's going to do, it's going to lock so that bolt doesn't back off. Worst case scenario, it may back off just a little bit of what's in that slot, but it's not going to back off like you saw it was. Come out and damage your car and make you get in a wreck. Okay, we're on. I'll do the other side, and then we'll get her all buttoned up. Okay, all buttoned up. Got our retainers on there. First we got a plate, got the retainers on there, and she ain't going nowhere. This one I already kind of have clocked, so it's already at its limit. It's not going to loosen up. It'll stop. This one is close to the limit. If it loosens up, it's going to stop here real soon. It's real close to the slot. So, is this a must-have? When I started this video, I said, yeah, but then I discovered my A-arms bolts were loose, so now it's a hell yeah. It's a must-have. You know, if you got in a wreck and you hurt your car and you damage it and you're out playing and you're 600 miles from home and then you ruin your weekend and everything, it wouldn't matter what this cost, you would do it. This is cheap insurance for what it is. Highly, highly recommend it. Link in the description below where you can buy this. UTV Race Shop, great people there. Donovan, hell of a guy. Shift Performance or whatever the products it is. Good stuff, good stuff. Comment below if you see something new in the stable here. Yeah, there will be some content coming with that stuff. Remember, please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and come back and see me. We've got a lot of videos. I'm down a lot of videos right now, meaning I have a lot of videos to make. So we have Glamis season starting. I am going to get a trip into Jawbone here real soon before Glamis. Anyway, we will see you guys out on the trail. If you see me, stop me, say hi, say you suck, whatever else. See you in the next video.